And about loyalty, you know, Jackie Robinson, he refused to be traded at the end of his career. Because he was a Brooklyn Dodger. So even it's odd to think about that, but there was a time when people actually had real commitments to, they worked in corporations for careers, and the idea of moving to, like headhunting now, this idea that you can, because when you have a society where avaritia, you know, I was just at UC Berkeley and I gave this talk to a group of students at UC Berkeley, and I asked them if they knew what the 7 deadly sins were.
Good luck.
And yeah, first of all, they asked, what are sins? But no, I'm just kidding. But, you know, and sin is a beautiful word, because sin, the word in Arabic for sin is khati'ah, which has the exact same meaning as sin in Greek, in Hebrew, and in English, Old English. It's an archery term.
Really?
Yes, wow. For missing the mark. And one of the things they asked Jordan, the basketball player, what do you think about when you miss a shot? And he said, too far, too short, too much to the left, too much to the right. You know, in other words, you need to And so archery, it's taught in so many traditional cultures because it teaches you that the flaw is always in it's not the target, it's in you. And so sin is missing the target. It's mistaking an apparent good for a real good. And this is something that we don't understand. But what I said to them was that the sin of greed is not to be greedy one time. The sin of lust is not to look on another person lustfully one time or 2 times or even 10 times. It's actually a state of being, to be in that state where it has taken over your soul. And in that way, it's a mortal sin because it's putting you in a state that is so dangerous for your own fulfillment. It will destroy the possibility to be fulfilled in this life and possibly in the next life. And so the idea of how do we then rectify this, and this is where religion and the ethical aspect of religion, one of my favorite quotes from Confucius is, he said, when I was 15, I set my heart on learning. When I was 30, I had no more doubts. When I was 40, I knew the mandate of heaven. When I was 50, I knew the mandate of heaven. When I was 60, my ear was obedient. And when I was 70, I could fulfill my heart's desire without going astray. That idea of working on the self, which you talk a lot about in your book, about self-mastery, that idea has been so removed from the spiritual being of the human being. And where we see it is in sports. We see it in sports. Incredible discipline in sports. I mean, our great athletes have phenomenal discipline.
And then they go tear up bathrooms.
Exactly. And musicians also, and you're a great musician, and you know how much work it takes to actually achieve that type of mastery. But the idea of mastering the soul has really been removed from our civilization. And that to me is the greatest tragedy.
Well, let me tie that